nation's favourite celebrities.
Oh.
Just want to touch base.
Paired up with an expert.
Boom! What?
And a classic car.
No hands!
Their mission? To scar Britain for antiques.
My office, now.
The aim? To make the biggest profit at auction. But it's no easy ride. Who will find a hidden gem?
Like that.
Who will take the biggest risk?
This could end in disaster.
Will anybody follow expert advice?
But I love this.
How would you buy something you're not going to use?
There will be worthy winners and valiant losers.
No, I don't want to shake hands.
Put your pedal to the metal.
Hang on, let me get out of first gear.
This is the Celebrity Antiques Road Trip. Yeah.
Watch out! We got the boys in blue on today's show.
Actors Bill Simons and Derek Folds.
Have we got to win and beat each
Yes,
other?
we've got to. You are going to buy terribly well.
Yes.
You are going to sell terribly well.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be good enough.
Well,
I can tell you that now for a start.
Blimey, Bill. The gents have been the best of chums since the 70s and are the only actors to star for the whole 18-year run of police drama Heartbeat. Rather trained, Derek's long and illustrious career in film and TV includes roles in Yes Minister and even The Basil Brush Show.
Boom, boom.
what's that?
Because so many of the things that we see, you were born with.
This is true.
Cheeky. In hot pursuit are their road trip rozzers PC Happy, a.k.a. Phil Serrell, and the fabulously wonderful, beautiful Kate Bliss.
Do you know, of all the people I could have to drive me around in a police van, Philip, I would want you.
Well, Kate, I'm so
It's just so
touched.
fitting, look at you.
Yeah, well, yeah, as long as I can stay in the front of it, not the back of it, I don't
Well, I know
mind.
there are bars on the back,
Yeah,
so
I know,
I might, if you don't behave, I might shut you in there
Thank
later.
you very much.
You tell him, girl. Kate and Phil have the cutest of butter 1973 Austin Morris police van. It was actually used in Heartbeat. There's authenticity for you.
Hold on, Kate, is that an incoming call?
Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, yeah. No, I ordered a
Hello,
pizza.
hello?
And make sure it's a deep crust one that I like.
Yeah, he says deep crust.
Deep
yeah.
crust, please,
I'll
yeah.
have the extra cheese.
While the children play, the grown-ups are in the flash 1970s Daimler.
I know I'm going to meet Philip Serrell because I've met him before and he's very nice.
Is he the one with the scarf? You know, I've seen this programme.
Flamboyant,
He's
you call him,
flamboyant,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Phil, flamboyant. We begin proceedings in the splendid North Yorkshire town of Helmsley. Our road trip pals will tour around the county before heading for an auction in Ilkley in West Yorkshire.
So you do know your life of crime is over now. Phil is going to lay the law down with you. Hey, here they are.
Yeah, look at that swinging round.
Yay.
Good morning.
Oh, dear.
Morning, Bo.
Good morning, gents.
How are you both?
Hello, Bill.
Hello,
Lovely
nice
to meet you. Hi.
Derek's teaming up with Kate and Bill with flamboyant Phil.
Shall we get off?
Yes, let's go.
Right, we're going to steal a march on you.
Are you going?
Okay, well, we'll take the smooth option, I think.
Oh,
Come on,
yeah,
Derek.
yeah,
Shall
yeah.
I drive?
Yes, please.
Come take a seat.
After you.
Let the competition commence.
Right. Belts on,
Right.
Derek.
Right, here we go.
This is rather stylish, isn't it? Right, let's leave him for dust.
Ooh, stylish. And squeaky. And off we jolly well go. Ooh, isn't this exciting?
Well, Bill, we've got a good dollop of cash. We've got £400. Got any ideas as to which way we might go with that?
No, not really. Mainly, I'm thinking of what we have at home.
Yeah. We've only got 400 quid, Bill.
If I see something I like,
Yeah.
it probably costs tuppence halfpenny, but it's what you, it's It's an instinctive thing, isn't
I
it?
think to go on your gut is a good thing when it comes to antiques. You get a good feeling about something.
I mean, it'd be wonderful to beat Bill, right, so I can say, you know.
That's the spirit, Derek. This pair are headed for the town of Helmsley in North Yorkshire. It's the only market town in the 554 square miles of the North York Moors National Park. Would you look at that? How pretty is it? Room for Antiques is Derek's first emporium to have a good old forage in.
It's just here, I think.
Yeah, looks good.
Have a look.
Yeah.
This looks wonderful. Under the wise eye of Kate, what can we find in here?
This is a lovely little novelty. What do you think of that?
What is it?
It's a little novelty cat.
Yes.
And she's got a brass ball. And in the brass ball is
Hey,
a little tape measure.
look at that.
The ticket price, yes, it's £240. Yeah.
240. I can't get over these prices for tiny items.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
there we are.
it's an unusual item.
Yeah, but too steep for our Derek. Moving on.
That's a lovely flask, isn't it?
It's a lovely flask. Have you had hip flasks in the past?
I'm not telling you.
I think that's a yes.
Give me the...
Do you know, that's a really nice example.
Is
So
that 45 quid?
it is. So this is pewter
Yes.
with leather. And
Yeah.
you can see it's got a lot of age to it. Pewter would be much more affordable in the Victorian period when this was made. But of course, you take that off the bottom and you've got a little drinking cup. So I would say this is sort of very late Victorian, maybe early Edwardian, sort of 1900, maybe even 1910.
Time for Dealer Judy. Over to you, Derek.
So you got £45 here.
Yes.
Now, what's the deal? Okay.
Well, I'm thinking
Say
about
15?
35.
Can you come down to 28?
Yes, that would be absolutely fine.
Can I jump in and say 25?
You can. I was expecting you to say 25.
I don't know why. I was going to say 25 and I thought... I best
25
not.
is fine, Derek.
Because I've never done this before. I'm a new boy.
25 is fine.
You're a star. Thank you very much.
Shall I take that for you?
Thank you.
I think that's
And I'll
lovely.
wrap that up.
Great.
great.
Thank you, Judy.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, no flies on you.
I say, that's a pretty fair first deal, Derek. Well done. What about the other pair?
What I think we've got to try and do is we want to win this, don't we?
Oh, definitely, you know, definitely. What's the point of coming here?
Exactly, Bill. The chaps have poodled their way to the spa town of Harrogate in North Yorkshire.
Well, Bill, here we are.
Right, Bill, let's see what you're made of. This place is huge, with over 50 stalls. There's sure to be something to catch your eye in here.
It's a real treasure trove, isn't it? Well, there's just stuff everywhere, isn't there?
Are you good on clothes, Phil?
Yeah, I'm good on clothes. Clothes just aren't good on me, Bill. Most of them don't have enough cloth.
I don't believe it, Phil.
You like luggage, don't you?
I do. I think that's really cool. I love the colour.
Yes.
People talk about patina, and they always think it's furniture that's got patina. But, you know, silver has patina, and glass has patina, and leather's got patina. I just love the colour of this.
What I think is brilliant about this, I can see you carrying that in overnight to a hotel.
Not too sure about that, Bill.
But it's priced at £170. Anything else?
Garden furniture and stuff goes well,
It
doesn't
can
it?
actually, yeah.
What about those?
Well, shall I get them out? Let's.
What were they?
Well, they're old spirit barrels. Well, not spirits. You probably put more like booze in these, beer or whatever. But you've got the tap that goes in there.
There, right.
You've got a cork bung that would go into here.
Right, what we want to look for... Yeah?
Is any damage to them. I think they're quite cool. They're salt glazed. So,
Do you have to take them in the winter or not?
advisable to, but when they were in the kiln, he chucked salt in the kiln, and it gave it like this treacly finish. And the ideal use, of course, is as a garden stall.
Do you know, he's like a presenter from a shopping channel.
You could put lights in there and have just a great pair of lights.
Told you.
Probably turn of the last century, late Victorian. And the thing with these is that you're just trying to sell a look.
Yes.
There's no price on them. Shall I have a word with Phil?
Why not?
Dealer Phil, you're needed.
We quite like these.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ticket price on these?
30 each.
30 each?
Bill's getting into this.
We've got to crack down this one, haven't we?
Well, you have now.
Yeah. It's there and it's there and it's there, really.
Okay.
What could you do the two for if we took them both?
50.
50? 40 quid and you'd have a deal?
No, 50.
45 quid and you'd have a deal?
45.
45?
Got a deal.
45.
Better shake the man's hand, don't
Oh, God, yes, straight away.
Really? You've been very kind.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Star.
Thank you
very much.
No,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Nice seeing you.
Nice.
Cheers, Phil.
All right. You got it?
Well done. The Victorian barrels of this team's first buy. Back to Derek and Kate in Helmsley.
Hey, I tell you what I've spotted, Derek. These might be up your street. What do you think of those cufflinks with golfers on? Now, you like a bit of golf, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I can tell you there's a very buoyant market
Oh,
in
good,
lovely
wow.
quality cufflinks.
Yeah.
They're still really good sellers.
Yeah, what's the price of that?
Well, they're marked at 140, but they do look very nice quality to me. Judy, could we bother you? Got my eye on those cufflinks in there.
Let's take a closer look, shall we?
What do you think, Derek?
Well, I'm a Chelsea supporter.
Oh, there
So
we go then.
you've got the Chelsea blue.
Yeah.
I love playing golf. We're trying to sell them to other people. But they are nice, aren't they?
This is what's known as guilloche enamelling. And it's an ancient technique, actually. It goes right back centuries. And it's where the silver or the precious metal is engine turned before the enamel is laid over the top. And that just gives it a little bit of a sort of opalescent sheen. Do you see that? They've got a little bit of a shimmer to them.
Oh, yes. Every discerning gentleman should have a quality pair of cufflinks, and these are priced at £140.
What would you try and get it down to then?
Well, if you ask me honestly, I'd like to pay... I hope Judy's not listening, but I'd like to pay about £50 for them.
Good luck. Oh, Judy?
At auction, I'm thinking around sort of 50 to £60. I know that's a long way off your price.
It's too far for me to drop, but I could drop to, say, 80, if that's any help.
75?
Oh, Derek,
Please.
it's so quick. Yes, I'll go to 75 for you, as you were, Mr. Derek.
What do you want to do? 75 smackers. We'll do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, we got two.
We have.
This is madness, isn't it?
Oh, we're getting better at spending, aren't we?
Well, I know. I'm quite excited.
Good. I'm quite excited too.
So am I.
What about this little cabinet? Derek?
Yes. Well, what's that?
That is really interesting, actually. Let's see if I can get it out. This is
I've never
in
seen.
gorgeous condition, actually. It's about 1820 in date, I would say, and it's a little sewing clamp. So the seamstress would clamp this to the edge of her table, her work table, by turning that screw. And this little finial, there we go, yes, that unscrews like that, and you could actually take that off.
That's brilliant.
So you could take your little cotton reel away. So it all depends what the price is, Derek. Let's have a look.
Exotic.
So we've got 145 on there.
45 quid.
What
It's
do you
so
think
small.
of that?
I think it's a lot of money.
Well, I have to say, they
It's
are
very pretty.
collectible. This would have been used in the 1820s, 1830s maybe. You know, it's nearly 200 years old.
And it's made from rosewood, often found in all sorts of antique objects. And this is an antique and legal to sell. But the international trade in rosewood is strictly controlled.
Do you want to beat Bill?
I would love to beat Bill.
The gloves are off, aren't they?
Well, you know, I'm such a sort of ordinary sort of bloke.
I think I'm bringing out the competitive streak in you.
You are now.
You definitely are, Kate. I think this could be love.
Shall we have a chat with Judy and
80.
go for it?
Shake me up, Judy.
We're going for the little cotton.
Yes.
We're thinking maybe, can you go for a 75?
Remember, it's priced at £145.
That's really pushing.
Maybe 70?
75 I'll go for, but that is actually it.
Is that good?
You can't knock the lady for being fair, can
No,
you?
I can't.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
What do you think, Derek?
Yeah, I love it.
Great, let's shake the lady's hand.
There we are.
Judy,
Thank you very much.
You've been fantastic. Thank you very much
you, Kate.
indeed.
Crikey, Moses, Derek. 3 items at a total of £175 in the first shop. Now, what about the fellas in the Black Maria?
Well, Bill, you've played a Yorkshire policeman, and I'm going to take you now back in time to see what jail was like in the 19th century.
Phil knows how to spoil a celebrity. They've motored to the city of Ripon in North Yorkshire. It was around here 60s drama Heartbeat was filmed. But Bill's about to find out about crime and punishment in the Victorian era. Curator Mandy Thrippleton from the Ripon Prison and Police Museum is going to unlock the area's terrifying history.
I'm being pushed here, Bill.
Why don't you come on in and I'll show you all about punishment?
Really?
Naughty. You might not get back out, Phil. Crime and how to deal with it was one of the great issues of Victorian Britain. Industrialisation and the consequent move of vast numbers of people from the countryside to cities contributed to a soaring crime rate that increased year on year. Incarcerating the guilty seemed to be one solution, and so prisons like this one were built.
What a wonderful building. What did it start off as?
Well, originally it started off as a house of corrections in the early 1800s. It then became a prison that housed all the local residents that had been committing crimes. And then it became a police station.
Sir Robert Peel established the Metropolitan Police Force in London in 1829, but police procedure varied wildly region to region until the introduction of a national police force in 1856.
I'd imagine that in Victorian times it wasn't an easy life here.
Absolutely. It was a grim place to be. Obviously the Victorians were not about rehabilitation. They weren't bothered about what happened to people once they left. They wanted to keep people punished for their crimes, and so they devised many methods of punishment. There were things like the crank.
The crank would be turned up to 10,000 times a day by a prisoner. Its main purpose? To break self-respect. The museum has an example.
That's it there.
This is the crank that you'll be turning. None of it was about usefulness. It was just purely taking up time.
I'm never going to be naughty again.
Energy and time.
There was also the treadwheel, which many prisons used to have. It was almost like a vertical treadmill.
Right.
And they would just walk and the slats would fall away beneath them. And so it was a complete waste of time. And they would do that for up to 8 hours a day.
Oh my
and there were a lot of people that referred that to as one of the lunacy-inducing forms of punishment in Victorian prisons.
Terrible.
Even more chilling was the punishment for juvenile crime.
So what's this?
Well, this is a birching stool. It was used for punishment for juveniles, and they were strapped in and whipped with a birching rod across their backs. And every time the child would be struck, children as young as 8 or 9, going up to the age of 14, the person doing the whipping would hit them, and then they would pause, and so the child didn't know when the next blow was going to come. It was supposed to make them reflect on why it was happening.
Was this just accepted by society?
It was indeed, because prisons were essentially places of punishment.
I feel it's terrible that something like this could be used on almost anybody, but particularly on children.
Petty crimes, such as a child stealing an apple or found begging, would result in punishment by the birch. But there was something even more terrifying in store for the child criminal. After the birching stool was phased out, the dark cell was introduced. Oh dear.
This is obviously a representation, but outside in the yard there was one built, so it was all solid or wooden. There was no way that sound or light could get in, so it was completely excluded any outside interference. So what could have been 5 minutes would have felt like hours and hours to a small child.
Very well. How long would they have been in there for?
It could have been hours, but it would have felt like weeks.
After the tough Victorian regime, the move towards reform happened in 1895, when Liberal reformer Herbert Gladstone MP presented a report to Parliament. It stated that prisons should turn their inmates out as better people than when they went in. And before we leave, let's take a look at a prison cell from 1816.
As you can see, it's very small. There's only room for a wooden bed. There's a small chamber pot. There's a tiny ledge up in the corner just for your candle. That's the only light that you would have had.
Can I have a look?
You can indeed have a look.
Mandy, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful experience. I mean, terrifying.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, even though it was terrifying.
Thank you.
Whoops-a-daisies.
Bill? Bill?
Probably the best place for him. Back to Derek and Kate.
I think Bill is far more competitive than me.
Really? Well, do you know, it could be an absolutely killer duo between the two of them, because Philip does not hang around when he's negotiating, and he will go in really low.
Those two are off to the North Yorkshire town of Thirsk to pay a visit to 3 Tons Antiques. Oh, this looks smart.
Looks interesting.
It does.
After big spending this morning, they have £225 left in the old kitty.
Ah.
Here we are.
Let's have a good old nose about. That's just like yours, Derek.
You see that photograph?
Oh, yes.
Now that, do you recognise him?
No, I don't.
Do you remember the film Mutiny on the Bounty?
Bounty, I do, now you say it.
The one with Clark Gable?
Yeah.
Well, that is a photograph of Captain Bligh, played by the great Charles Lawton. And his favourite saying was, "Mr. Christian."
Very good.
I've no idea what Bill Simons has been doing, or how much money he spent. But I've got the ace in the pack, because I have got Kate, who is quite brilliant.
I think this is a whole new experience for Derek. I don't think he's ever really haggled for anything. He's just such a lovely gentleman, perhaps a little bit too gentlemanly to get a rock bottom price, but he's doing well. Hey, look at that. How do you spell whiskey? Has whiskey got an E in it? Whiskey.
Yes.
Has it?
Has it? Well,
it has.
Has it got?
Yeah, it has.
Well, Derek, the Irish and the Americans spell it with an E and the Scots without. It's all down to different Gaelic translations. It's priced at £30.
I wonder if we should just ask
£5 for you.
What?
£5.
Really?
Yes, I'll let you have £5.
Derek, I'm learning from you.
Gee whiz, Derek.
That's very generous. And I happen to have a £5.
Thank you
Right,
very
yeah.
much.
Thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Bye, nice to see you.
Nice to have met you.
Great,
very much.
lovely. Come on, let's
Come on,
scarper.
let's go.
You are an old charmer.
Don't tell anybody, will you? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Your secrets are safe, Derek. The silver whiskey decanter label means he now has 4 lots, and he's a quick learner. Well, what a wonderful day for both teams. But now it's time for a lovely rest. Into the cells, then. Nighty-night. Top of the morning to you. We're back on the road with our gentlemen coppers.
We had a very successful day between ourselves. We laughed a lot, but we weren't amazingly lucky with what we found.
It's good news to us.
Oh, I know, but my God, we're going to have a good day today.
That you are, Bill. And dare we peek into the Austin Morris?
Do you know, in this vehicle...
Are we cutting a dash?
Well, I really feel like people get out of our way, put it that way, but that could be your driving.
No, it's fear, definitely fear.
That could be very true. Yesterday, our wonderful chaps took to the world of antiques like ducks to the proverbial, especially expert charmer Derek.
Go on then, £5 for you.
Hey, he's already bought 4 items. The antique pewter and leather hip flask, a pair of silver cufflinks, an antique rosewood sewing clamp, and the silver whiskey decanter label. And he still has £220 for the day ahead.
Hey, no flies on you.
Bill, on the other hand, is taking it easy. He has one lonely lot, the couple of Victorian barrels.
And the ideal use, of course, is as a garden stool.
His bag of money is bulging with £355.
Do you know, Derek wants to find something really big.
And here I am.
Something that'll go in the back of that. Oh, they are, they are.
Yeah, we are.
Hello, you lot.
Derek, how are you?
Good morning.
Lovely to see you.
Yeah. Nice
Excited?
to see you. Nice to see you.
New day?
He goes straight to you. He was ignoring me then. He goes straight to
We
you.
do this. We're very, very confident, I'm afraid.
Really?
Well, no, I'm not afraid at all. I'm rather pleased.
You're getting the competitive bug.
Should we go and give him a good whipping?
You can learn a thing about negotiating,
Yes.
Derek.
Right, we're going to go. We're going to get ahead of you.
I'll go in.
Let's go.
Oh, we're in.
Yeah.
And we're off.
So, Derek, did you use any of your police sleuthing skills to find anything out from Bill about his shopping?
Well, Bill was trying to pull a fast one.
Was he?
And he was saying things like he'd never known Fabergé to be so cheap.
The rivals are all headed to the village of Barnby Moor in York. That's right, they are all sharing a shop. Look at that.
Right, there we go then. Well, up and at 'em.
Located on the York to Hull Road, there are a good few farm buildings bursting at the seams with all sorts of goodies.
I like that. I've got a feeling it comes from something like a brewery. And when they used to bring the bottles back to the brewery for after they'd been sold or used in the pub, they rinsed them and everything and put them on this. I might be wrong.
I thought these things were French. Let's look at the price.
How much is that?
190 quid.
Blimey. Let's get some help from the dealer. Howdy, Greg.
Is it a washer?
It's a dryer. You'd wash the bottles and then stick them on there.
So it's priced up at £190?
Yeah.
With all the bottles?
Yeah. No, not with all the bottles.
What?
What were you thinking for that with the bottles?
We've got to sell it at auction, and I'd like to see it at about 85, 90.
With the bottles?
Yeah.
Let me think about it. You're going to get some other things.
We would like to buy and try and
look
buy some
around.
things here, but our opposition are coming here in a minute.
it's
So
kinda-
just tell them, if they come to this, it's reserved.
Okay.
Don't let them
I'll
get
do
in the
that.
way. It's reserved.
Speak of the devils.
Well, this is a bit different, Derek.
Oh, this is fascinating.
They've got £220 to splash.
Hello, hello, hello. What's going on here then? I think it's more your size.
Entris! Rowan, my office, now!
Blimey, let's make a run for it for the old Bill. And Phil.
Oh, Bill, I love these. These are so cool.
What's it? The vaulting horse?
Yeah, but what you do with these is you take the top level off and you've got a window seat or a very cool seat at the end of the bed. And then with the bottom layers, you put a piece of glass in between them and you've got an uber cool coffee table.
That's genius.
Well, you see, I'm banging. Is it up there with the kids or down there with the kids? Anyway, I'm on trend. I'm on fire today.
Yeah, don't get too carried away, Philip.
You know, is there a price?
Prices, let's have a look. I mean, I think it's got to be about 100 quid.
Uh-oh.
380.
380.
Okay. Well, we can have a walk round.
Right.
Okay, let's go and see what else we can see.
Pricey, but interesting. Now, what about Derek and Kate?
Are these old records worth anything? Hmm?
Yeah, a tricky one, actually.
Yeah.
They're great
But they do.
for nostalgia, aren't they?
Yeah, but that's about it.
It is. I don't think they'll make us a fortune,
No, they won't. And
unfortunately.
we've got to make a fortune.
Pull away, pull away. Oh, you're all right.
Hello, hello, hello. What's going on here?
Yes, indeed, yes. How are you getting on?
We're doing very well.
We're doing
We are
well
doing
where
very,
we
very
are.
well. I'm
Dream
happy
team.
to see. And,
What, anything?
And
Couldn't tell you that.
We've had a
Miserable
quite
time.
an interesting...
Miserable.
You're both liars, but very handsome ones. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you think they know that they're going to lose?
I think it's written all over their faces.
They just won't let it go, will they? Right, let's stick with the cheeky ones and see what they sniff out next.
Do you like these two, Bill?
Yes, I like that. Shabby chic.
Yeah.
And that's nice. Nice, tall.
There's a certain irony for me with these, because you've got a chest of drawers that wouldn't have been painted. What I find bonkers about this, Bill, is this is a late Georgian mahogany chest of drawers, but to make it saleable, all this paint's brand new. This lump, Bill, this is £280.
This is a useful shape.
It's sort of kind of like that industrial look that people want.
Yes, I like this. How old?
Late Victorian, 19th century.
Right, let's fetch Greg.
There's three things that we love, but I've got to tell you, it's a massive, massive ask. Bill, you love...
The bottle holder outside, I think is great.
With the bottles. I like this because it's just stupid, because I think this is a great window seat, and then turn the bottom two into some really cool tables.
Yeah, because it comes apart.
Yeah, I think that's a real London lot. Quite how much sense there is in selling a London lot in North Yorkshire, I'm not sure, but we'll find that out. And the other thing is that chest of drawers down the bottom.
Yeah.
We'd like to offer you, because I think it's our best shot really, is basically £300 for the lot.
You see, that would be just for this, but I've had this a while.
Yeah.
And the three things together, 300, I'd still be making money.
So you're making a profit on
So
it.
that's fine.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
Brilliant. You've been a star. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant. 9.
How generous, Greg, thanks. Whew. That little lot breaks down to the vaulting horse for £110, the late 19th century chest of drawers also for £110, and the French tiered bottle dryer with bottles for £80. Now, how are the other pair faring?
Hey, I like that. What do you think of that?
Ah, that's a Moe lamp, which is made by American company Moe Brothers Manufacturing, dating from the 1930s.
It's for a desk, isn't
It
it?
is, exactly that, a desk light, which is why it's so streamlined, if you like, typical 30s. But I quite like these gilt mounts on it. Very geometric in style. It's almost like an aeroplane wing, isn't it? It was such an age of speed, and the design of everything from the architecture to the, you know, the lighting in the home was very much in that style.
Looks good, but what's the price tag?
It's very masculine to me. It would look great on a gentleman's desk, wouldn't it?
45 quid.
145.
145?
145.
What?
What do you think? Do you like it?
Well, I do. I like the shape and I like the idea of a desk lamp.
Time to talk money with dealer Dominic.
It's a tricky one at auction, isn't it? I mean, it might make 40 to 60 pounds. It might make, you know, 80 to 120 pounds.
60.
Can you get anywhere near the 40 to 60, Dominic?
65.
I know that's cheeky.
65, it's very cheeky.
Do you know, I do like a nice round 60.
Yes.
What do you think? If Dominic can do 60, what do you think?
You're such a charmer, Derek. How can I say no?
What can I say? What do you want? What are you after?
Yeah.
60. 60?
Yeah, OK.
Well, I've got it in my hand.
Well, you may as well hand it over to me.
And I think you're a very lucky man.
I think you might be very lucky.
There we are. Thank you so much.
Great.
I know you're an ex-copper.
Oh, cheeky. The Art Deco desk lamp gives Derek a total of 5 super items. Now, where are Phil and Bill?
I tell you what, there's a minor problem here, Bill. What's the matter? This thing is absolutely as flat as a what's it.
Uh-oh.
It's completely dead, and...
He looks as if he could expire.
No, there's just no life at all.
Oh, no.
It's not even wired up.
We're miles from anywhere here.
Well, have you ever done this before?
Meanwhile, let's get back to Derek and Kate. They're on their way to the city of York.
And tell me about your national service.
Yeah, I went in at 18 and I was trained as a wireless operator, did-it, da-da-da, did-it, which is SOS.
We're headed for York Castle Museum to find out about the incredible support given to the brave soldiers who signed up to serve king and country in World War I. Curator Katie Brown is going to tell us more about the astonishing morale boosts given during one of the most catastrophic wars of the 20th century.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to York Castle Museum. Would you like to come this way?
Lovely, thank you.
December 1914. The First World War had been raging for 5 months.
So, when the war started, everyone thought that it would be over by Christmas, didn't they?
So they were going to go over there, save the Empire, and then come home in time for Christmas.
Instead, the war was still raging on with no sign of an end. Princess Mary, the daughter of King George V and Queen Mary, wanted to show her support.
Originally, she wanted to pay for some tins to go out to the servicemen out overseas out of her own personal funds. But it wasn't really practical, so they set up a fund in her name.
The public gladly contributed to Princess Mary's fund. A total of £162,000 was raised, the equivalent of just under £14 million in today's money.
And so they produced these tins here. The idea was every soldier and a serviceman and eventually airman going out overseas would be given this tin, and it would contain tobacco and cigarettes. And they all got a little card with Princess Mary's picture and a little greetings card here wishing them a happy Christmas.
Around 400,000 tins were sent to anyone wearing the King's uniform. However, soldiers serving with regiments from Yorkshire received a second tin from home.
So yeah, we've got this one here. So if you would like to have a closer look?
Can you read that?
Isn't that lovely? So the Allied flags are on the front, obviously,
yes, all
aren't
the
they?
Allied flags.
And then we've got an inscription there.
What does it say?
So it says the Lord Mayor of York, John Bowes Morell, and the Sheriff, Oscar F. Rowntree. So presumably he was Rowntree of the chocolate family.
Yes, he is,
Rowntree.
yes.
And it says, send best wishes for a happy Christmas and a bright new year to all York men who are serving their king and country.
It's fantastic, wonderful.
Each tin contained a solid block of Rowntree's chocolate wrapped in foil. Oscar Rowntree and John Bowes Morell personally funded the gesture themselves. The impact of receiving something from your home county was so powerful that recipient soldiers and their loved ones wrote letters of thanks. Known as the chocolate letters, the museum has a collection of over 250. Amazing.
Now, this one here is written by the wife of Private J.W. Agar, who was in a prisoner of war camp in Germany. And so she'd received a letter from him saying he'd received the gift. So she's writing the letter to say thank you.
So it says, I was pleasantly surprised to get the postcard, as the prisoners in this camp have only been allowed to write once in 50 days.
Yes.
Extraordinary. It's hard to underestimate the effect the tins had on the morale of the troops, but this festive goodwill extended to the legendary Christmas Day Truce of 1914.
Yeah, I think Christmas, especially the first year, it was maybe a different attitude they were having. You know, the Germans across the way from them weren't feeling they were that much different. So the truce happened, they went over there, they played the game of football, supposedly, and they exchanged gifts as well. Early on, like, where that kind of difference between the sides maybe wasn't as keen to them. So afterwards, you know, they became the proper enemy. By the, second, third, fourth year of war, the Germans aren't the friends anymore in any way, so they would never have done that after that first year. So it's quite a unique experience, really.
Thank you. I'm totally very moved, really.
Let's return to Bill and Philip. They finally made it to the North Yorkshire village of Huntington. And the French house is where they're headed.
Now, what are you going to buy?
Well, I'm going to look round, and I've got a few ideas.
Go on then. You have a look round your way, and I'll go round mine.
This fine shop sources stock direct from La Française, and c'est magnifique! Ooh la la.
I spotted these little chairs for children. Somebody might like to buy them for their granddaughter, their grandson, or their children. I don't know what he'll think. He'll probably say, no, a load of rubbish. But he'll know where they were made, where they were built, the age of the wood, which might be yesterday week.
Now, where's Phil? Aha! En bon point. Looking good, Phil. Like your new hairstyle. Très bouffant.
What have you found, William?
Oh, I was looking at these chairs.
They're quite fun, aren't they? Almost like a limed wash country chair, isn't it?
Is there any age in it?
I would think it's probably 1950s, something like that. It'd make a great little christening present.
And they're not priced. That's one possible. Anything else?
Why do you like this?
Well, I like the simplicity of it. I like the fact that it's in metal, it's not in gilt, and it's not painted. I mean, I don't know.
It's had a strut on the back.
Yes, that's right.
Which is broken off.
Yes.
I don't really see that as being a problem.
No, no.
If you want to see anything that's good quality that's glazed,
right,
is beveled.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is a beveled mirror plate.
Yeah.
So I love that, and I quite like the fact that it is a bit shabby because it's shabby chic, and it does what it says on the tin.
Another possible.
Yeah, I quite like that. That's £45. I'd try and get it for 20, 25 quid or something like that. You see, in an ideal world, we've got 4 items. One more would just make, I think, a real good quality lot. Yes. And I love that. And I like the little chair because it's primitive and I think it's fun. So you could either buy this at around 20, 25. You could buy the little chair at 5 to 10. But I think it's something that I'd like you to buy, whatever you love.
Well, right.
Over to you, Governor.
Thank you very much.
Let's see how he does.
The little chairs have stolen Bill's heart. Now, où est le dealer? Stéphane.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, ça va?
Oh, ça va.
Hello.
Now, can you give us your best price on the 2 chairs?
You could have the 2 chairs for £10. Lots of grandparents have more than one grandchild.
Yes.
And one is slightly bigger than the other anyway.
Yes.
So it's perfect.
Bill, shake them out.
Chances are you'll find a buyer and yeah.
You're very, very, very kind. And I've got
£10.
£10.
That's really kind.
it's very
Thank you
kind.
very much indeed. Thank you.
What a wonderful prize for the lovely children's chairs. Merci beaucoup, Steven.
Il était très gentil.
Pardon?
With the shopping now complete, time to get the gang together and have a nosy at one another's buys. Ooh, I do love this bit.
I would just like to say that size isn't everything.
Well, is that it?
That is it.
You're not impressed?
Cufflinks.
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 They look very nicely enamelled.
They are actually, the enamel
they
is
are.
beautiful on them. With golfers, of course, quite commercial.
Very commercial.
Indeed.
But I got to tell you, I love the Spirit label.
But how do you spell whiskey?
W-H-I-S-K-Y.
And how's that spelled?
W-H-I-S-K-E-Y.
Oh, that's because you're in Yorkshire. Whiskey.
that
knows.
Well, we thought Irish whiskey has an E.
Does
Scottish whiskey doesn't have
Yes,
an E.
I didn't know that. No, what about the flask?
Is that your favourite, Derek?
I like the flask very much.
It's the sort of thing that you would carry in your hip pocket and offer me one now.
Often, yes.
The light's quite nice, I think.
Well, that's my favourite.
You can't beat a bit of government surplus, can you, Derek?
That's what it is.
So
I didn't know what
cheeky,
it was.
isn't
I
it?
thought it was...
No, government surplus.
I
That
thought it was
is-
left here by the crew.
That is an original piece of Art Deco lighting.
What about Bill and Phil's collection? And
We need a really big fanfare. Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
Go on then, do your stuff.
3, 2, 1, go! Ta-da! Will you just look at that?
What is it?
What do you mean, what is it?
Well, you've gone for lumps,
Well,
haven't
I don't-
you?
what
There's
are
no
they?
denying
What
it.
are they?
Well, you can use them as stools,
Yes.
but they are essentially
Barrels.
glazed barrels. Yeah, and I do like this. How much were those?
£45. The maestro here bought those.
But this, I mean, you're going back to your time as a PE instructor, aren't you?
If there wasn't all this stuff here, I'd give you a quick demo now. But
Oh,
as
go
it
on
is-
then.
No, just look at this. I mean, what you've got to understand is that we're bang on trend.
in your mind, maybe.
Now, what about this? I mean, I have to say, it looks very pretty in the sunshine.
That's a sculpture.
What do you think of that, Derek?
I
do you
don't
like
like
that?
it. Now, I'm just going to stop you there because the steal of the show are the Bill Simons chairs. Just ask him what he paid.
Probably overpriced, whatever you paid. I mean, who's going to sit in them?
I'm not interested in talking then. Come on.
Okay, we'll see you at the auction. Then we'll see.
Thoughts on one another's purchases, please.
I'm not biased, but I'm not really impressed.
Were you all of a tremble having seen what they've got?
Well, do you know, I prefer our items.
The chest of drawers, I thought, looked a bit tacky.
What do you think for their little star lots? Do you think the cufflinks are good?
Well, I suppose if you're a golfer, I'm not a golfer. Are you a golfer?
A bad one.
I think we're actually sitting quite pretty.
I'm very happy.
Good. I'm glad, Derek. Auction day beckons. These auctioneers is our auction showdown location.
So who's going to win?
Here they are.
Oh.
Hi, we're here. What a beautiful day.
The creek without a paddle.
And I think I might have led you there.
Hey,
This is
Derek,
exciting. You
Let's
ready?
show these pretenders how it's done. Come on. I'm going to show you the way. In we go.
Derek and Kate spent £240 on 5 lots. Derek excelled as a charming negotiator. Bill and Phil were big spenders and blew £355 on 5 auction lots.
That's genius.
Charles Hartley is the man in command of the rostrum. Do you like our road trippers' offerings, Charles?
The lamp is probably my favourite item today. I think it's very cool, very stylistically relevant to stuff at the moment, so I think it could do quite well today. The chest of drawers, one of the oldest items we've got in, I think. Very useful shape, very useful size. So that sort of rough industrial sort of patina is what the market seems to like at the moment.
Thanks, Charles. Oh, here they come. They're looking a bit shifty.
It's exciting.
Kate's got some news.
You know our lovely little rosewood sewing clam?
Yes, I love it.
Well, rosewood has become an endangered species, and because the auction house can't conclusively prove the age of it, they're actually going to err on the side of caution, and they're not going to offer it for us for sale today. And that means we're going to get our money back. It's as if we haven't bought it as far as the game is concerned. But we still go forward with 4 fantastic lots.
So, we could still win?
Absolutely, Derek.
So you've only got 4 items?
Yep.
Do you want to buy one of ours?
No.
Cheeky. First up, it's one of Bill's favourites, the French tiered bottle trier.
I'm starting off this time with interest on the sheets at 50. Do I have 55 in the room? 55 anywhere? 55, 60, 65, sir? 65 anywhere? Anyone in at 65? You can hang whatever you want on it. 65 anywhere? No one in? You can get £60 in. Are we all sure?
It's rather worrying when you lose 20 quid and it's a result, isn't it?
Come on, Philip. We've only just started.
I suppose it could have been worse.
You bet your socks it could.
Team Derek next with the antique pewter and leather hip flask.
Got a bit of interest on the sheets. I'm obliged to start off at 16. Do I have £18 in the room? £18 anyone? Anyone at £18? Anyone in? Are you sure? Good present for any gents out there. No one in at 18, are you sure? No one in? You get £16. Sheep biddy gets it 18, 20, 22. 22 anywhere? 22. Leaving it 22, 24 now. It's in the room. Anyone at 24? You get £22 then in the room. Are we all out?
That is not bad, you know, Derek. We weren't far off, were
But
we?
we lost £3.
Well, a little bit more with commission, but hey, it could be a lot worse.
Really?
Huh. Never a truer word spoken, dear Kate.
They think they've done really well, and they've lost money.
Hang about. It's the big old barrels from Bill next.
£10 to start me for the 2. £10 anyone
Starting
in?
low.
10. 12 now. 12. 14. 16. 18. 20.
Where they finish, though, that matters.
22 anywhere? 22. 24. 26. 28. 30. £30 anyone? Anyone at 30? £30? Are you sure? They're decent.
These were fun.
No. Leaving it £28 then, if we're all out.
That is a crime, Bill. That is a crime.
Will you just please wipe the smile off your face?
No, I'm not. Seriously. That's a crazy price for those two. They're lovely.
Bargain price for one lucky bidder there.
I'm really sorry because those are lovely.
I'm surprised, I really am.
You're next, Derek, with the silver whiskey decanter label.
£5 to start me, anyone in? Bit of silver. 5. 7 now. 7. 10. 12. 14. 16. £16 anywhere? Anyone at £16? No one in at 16? Think Christmas will be here eventually. £16 at 16. 18. 18, sir? 18. 20. 22. 22. 22 anywhere? Leaving it £20 then. Are we all sure?
Derek, you're a genius.
What about that?
What about that for a
£20 for a snog.
You still got it, Derek. Great little earner.
I don't want to start laying blame anyway here, Bill.
Right.
Because if we do lose money, it's because you didn't kiss anybody.
Oh, Philip. Right, Bill and Phil's vaulting horse is next.
Who wants to start me off with this? £20 to start me for it. 20. 22 now. 22. 22. 24. 26. 28. 30. 35. 40. 45. 50. 55. 60. £60 anywhere. 60. 65. 70. 75. 75 anywhere. 75. 80. 85. 90. 95. 95 anywhere. 95. 95. 100. 110. 120. 120 anywhere? Anyone at 120? 120? Are we sure we're all out at 120? Give me £110 there in the centre.
Do you know what? After commission, that's cost us a shilling or two. But that's, that's close enough. It's close enough.
Certainly is. Could have been a heck of a lot worse. What you call a great escape.
Hold on just a minute.
Brilliant.
That's unbelievable.
Derek's next with the pair of silver cufflinks.
Nicely made. I'm starting off on commission bids at 40. Do I have 45 in the room? 45 anywhere? 45 anywhere? Surely that can't be the only interest we have. 45 anywhere? They're nice of these. 45 anywhere? Leaving at £40 then, if we're all out.
I can't see it.
Do you know, that was all over in a bit of a blink of an eye, wasn't it? Well, somebody, I tell you what, Derek, somebody's got a real bargain there, I reckon.
They certainly have.
Oh, well, it's only a game. It's the taking part that's important.
Right. It's another of Bill's faves. The children's chairs are next.
Who wants to start me off on these? £10 for the two, £10 to get us going. Anyone in? £5 then? You're not going to see many of these this often. £5 new. Anyone in at all? £2 then, two. Scraping the barrel. £4.
Here we go, you've got a starter.
4, 6, 8, 10. £10 anywhere? £10 anywhere? You sure no one's in at 10? Leaving at £8. It's going to sell.
Not bad. Not bad.
I can't believe it.
Again, it's not a huge loss, but it's not over yet, Bill.
I can't believe those beautiful, beautiful chairs.
But there's no back.
Derek's Art Deco lamp is next to go.
I'm starting off this time at 60.
very
Do we have
cool.
65 in the room? 65 anywhere? 65, quiet at the back. 65, 70, 75. Yes. 75 anywhere? Anyone at 70? No more in this 75? Are you sure? It's very nice. Is this 75?
Yes, yes, one for luck.
£70 then on the sheets if we're out.
I'd be pleased with that, Derek.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I'm thrilled too.
Good profit. We haven't seen too many of them.
I think we're in the lead. Aren't we?
Yes, you are, Derek. Bill, it's the final lot of the day. Your late 19th century chest of drawers.
Right, I'm obliged to start off this time due to the late bid at £110. 19th century chest of 4 graduated drawers, industrially patinaed if you like. I'm starting at 110 to have 120 in the room. 120, 130, 140. 140 anywhere? Anyone at 140 anymore in this? 140, 150, 160, 170, 180. 180 anywhere, you sure? 180 anywhere? 180 anywhere? 180. There we go. 190 now. 190 is the next bid. 190. It's in the room currently at 180. We have 180. No one in? Leaving £180. We will sell.
Try not to. Just don't say. Just don't say anything at all. Just.
That was a good result. Well, that was your choice, wasn't it, Bill? Well done.
Blooming heck. Talk about saving the best for the last. Excellent result.
We better go and find out who's won, haven't we?
Come on then. Yep. Come on,
Well
Derek.
done, Derek.
Let's face the music.
I'm scared.
Well, let's tot up the figures. Derek and Kate began with £400 and after all auction costs made a loss of £40 and 36p. They end the road trip with a final balance of £359 and 64p. Bill and Philip had the same budget and after all sale room costs made a tinier loss of £38 and 48 pennies. Their final earnings are £361 and 52p. Bill can proudly hold the road trip crown high as today's road trip winner. Well done.
Many congratulations.
I'm so sorry.
Well done. But it was so close. It
I'm
really
so
was.
sorry.
I'm totally...
Well done. Right.
It's not fair.
Take care.
I demand a recount.
Up here to Yorkshire after all those years?
Oh, it's been wonderful.
Would you do it again?
Like a shot.
More like in a heartbeat. Bye-bye, chaps.